The Super 73 RX is an intriguing e-bike, but the price puts it out of reach for many buyers, so we found something that looks similar and costs much less, the G-Force ZM. But how does this budget Super 73 RX perform? Let's find out.
What's up guys, Jimmy Chang here with Andrew, and today we've got a brand new bike by G-Force that we're going to be unboxing, putting together, and testing. Let's jump right into it. This is the G-Force e-bike. Andrew, tell us what to expect.
This is the ZM version. It's brand new. It's a full suspension, 20 by 4 inch knobby fat tire e-bike with a color display, and it's supposed to rip. We'll see what's going on.
There she is, all packed up.
It's actually pretty impressive packing. It's a 54.6 volt 3 amp charger. This is the 20 amp version of the ZM bike. The 14 amp hour version comes with a 2 amp charger. This is a pretty big headlight. We'll see if it's even bright at all, because sometimes they're big and they're not that bright like the Aerial Rider Grizzly, so we'll see.
Bunch of LEDs around the periphery and then one, or at least another LED in the center with a glow. It's a good looking light. There's this QR code here on this brochure. There's also a QR code on the box, and that actually leads you to the instructions, which are in video form. We were really struggling here because I was following the instructions. I don't want to cross thread trying to put these pedals on. Number one, the pedal is not labeled. I can't tell which one's left, which one's right. And then this says left side pedal, but it's actually on the right side. All right, we've got the bike all assembled, and you know what? Looking at it, it looks just like the Super 73 bikes. I do love this big saddle seat, and I'm thinking you could probably seat 2 people on this, right? So I have my wife here. It's our anniversary tomorrow. We're celebrating 21 years of marriage. Look at all this room I have to sit right behind her and hold on to my honey. All right, now that we have it set up, let's do a walkthrough from top to bottom. Andrew shows around.
We'll start up here at the top. Coming on the right, we have a twist throttle, Shimano 7-speed thumb shifter. You have hydraulic disc brakes. The brand is Ronglon? I've never heard of them, but they look identical to Zoom brake levers. So in the center, we have a color display. You can adjust the pedal assist levels. Coming down the center, you have the suspension that's for the front. You can adjust the compression to lock it out or to make it softer, and you can also adjust the preload. We have the light, which is really an awesome looking light. You can adjust the angle and just make sure to tighten these 2 bolts to make it nice and stiff so it doesn't move on you while you're riding. Comes with a plastic fender and a 20 by 4 inch knobby front tire. They mentioned on the website that this is a 180 millimeter brake disc, but from what we saw, it's 160 millimeters, so it's a typo on the website. Then you have your hydraulic piston brakes down here. It is a 2-piston brake system.
The other thing I want to talk about is the cable management. We've seen cable management done with these kind of neoprene sleeves before. You know, some people like them, some people don't. I think it's tastefully done, keeps things in check. It says G-Force. And if you ever need to do any repairing, swapping of components, you just unzip this and you're able to swap things out.
Running down the frame, we have the battery pack. This is the 48 volt by 20 amp hour battery, so it's 960 watt hours. It does have a keyed entry right here. To get it open, you're just gonna click this over and then it should slide right out. This is the power button for the e-bike. So when it's out, it's off. When it's in, it's on. The charge port's on the left side. There is a USB port on the very bottom of this display. Extra long saddle, as Jimmy mentioned. This could easily fit 2 people. Most frames we've dealt with on e-bikes in the past are round. We have not seen one yet that we've reviewed that's hexagonal like this. So this is very unique looking. But I do like they've included 4 bolt patterns down here, so you can attach like a lock or a drink holder pretty easily, and you can put it at different locations. Normally there's only 2 on bikes. Coming to the rear, we have a 750 watt motor with a peak output of 1300 watts. I would assume that since this is a Bafang rim, that this is a Bafang motor as well. You also have another rear fender that's plastic. You have a simple disconnect for the motor back here. I love when e-bikes are doing this.
And then since we're back here already too, this rear light is bright. It helps you to be seen at night, but it is not a brake light. It does not change intensity when you use the brakes.
We have the Shimano tourney derailleur, which is about their mid-level derailleur that Shimano offers.
Let's get our safety gear on and see if this thing can be like a budget Super 73. Okay, we've been riding over the last few days, and this thing has been a lot of fun, I'll be honest. I've been taking it out, ripping around, my son, his friends, and it's just so fun to go out, enjoy the beautiful weather. When I'm riding this, I'm riding it throttle, like 99% of the time. I don't even pedal. The throttle I feel is great, and I was able to get it up to a top speed of 26 miles an hour. Well, let's see how fast you can go pedaling.
27.2 miles per hour, and that was a slight uphill.
All right, you can see everyone out here enjoying this beautiful day. Let's talk about the things that we love about this bike.
I love the look of it. Just looks really cool. Does remind me of the Super 73 bikes, but at $1,000 less.
The seat is one of my favorite things, but I love the big saddle. Riding it around yesterday, I was going to and from the lake, enjoying and helping my wife out with a party that she was hosting, and the looks are stunning. Everyone's just like, hey, that is really cool. And they were asking me a bunch of questions about this bike. The ride was smooth. The big fat tires I really enjoy. Great for roads, great for gravel, great for going off-road. And then as Andrew mentioned before, the suspension actually feels pretty darn good. I would say, in my opinion, I would like the rear suspension to be a little softer.
The color display is really nice. It's not ultra bright, but it's a lot brighter than most other PEVs that we ride. The brakes work really nice. I was very surprised with how well the stopping power is on this bike. One thing that adds to the aesthetic of this bike is the sweet rims. The light, to me, looks really cool.
The other night, my son and his buddy rode the G-Force and the Aerial Rider Grizzly. It was nighttime, it was dark, they had their lights on. He didn't have any complaints. He said the lights work fine. He grabbed some footage of it for me, so I'll show that with you too. Great looking bike. The price point, it's pretty darn good, but it's not a perfect bike, and we're gonna keep riding, and at our next stop, we'll talk about the things that we don't like about this bike. All right, let's talk about the things that we don't like about this bike. Andrew?
The biggest issue for me is the pedal assist levels. Pedal assist level 1 is too little. Pedal assist level 2 through 5 is too much. So there's no in between. So it really is more of a ride conveniently using a lot of the throttle.
And that's how I like to ride it, using the throttle. My main gripes with this, a little bit on the fit and finish. The collar is kind of put in an angle there. I don't think that's for any utility. It's just the fit and finish was not cut correctly in the factory.
It's a pretty terrible hill climber. If you're just starting with throttle and you're at a hill, it's a heavy bike with heavy rider. It just kind of crawls up the hill. Some other bikes you can pedal out and help out quite a bit. This thing, even though when you're pedaling and starting to throttle, it still struggles.
The throttle does really help. I didn't find going up hills as big of a problem just using the throttle. I am lighter than Andrew though. In addition to not having much information on the website, just the instructions provided to us. So we had the video instructions, but the stickers on the pedals, if you remember that, installing the pedals, they were on incorrectly, and that led to a little bit of frustration trying to figure out how to put on the pedals correctly, which should be a pretty simple thing.
With a big color display, I wish they would make changing settings a lot easier to understand. I can access the P settings by pressing the plus and minus sign. This is the brightness level. I can change it from miles to kilometers, but I don't see anything for me to adjust the pedal assist levels. Where like the Aerial Rider Grizzly, I can easily see what pedal assist level setting there is and adjust how much power delivery.
There's no reason why it shouldn't provide more information on this screen. It's just a programming thing. So hopefully that's something that they can update in a future revision. So I've been taking this out and about, parking it at different places to pick up goods, deliver goods, to go meet friends. And a lot of times I don't want to lock the bike because I know it's just right there and I can watch it. It'd be really nice if there was a keyed start. That way I don't have to worry about someone getting on, turning it on, and then just taking off on it. All right, we're gonna keep riding, and while we're riding, we're gonna talk about who we think should get the G-Force ZM.
So we have the battery flashing at us, meaning it's pretty much almost dead. We've mainly used throttle, about 90% throttle with a little bit of pedal assist, and we have exactly 29 miles on it right now. So about 29, 30 miles with mostly throttle.
Who should get the G-Force ZM? There's something about having something that looks nice and looks aggressive. And this is one of those things. This bike has this aggressive look to it. It looks like a motorbike. And I think it kind of changes your mentality when you ride. You feel like I'm having more fun riding this, when I feel like the performance is similar to a lot of the other e-bikes that we have, but just the way that it looks and the design. So if you're looking for a good looking, aggressive looking bike that's still a bike, then check this guy out. It's like a Super 73, only on a budget.
If you're looking at a Super 73 but don't want to spend so much, this doesn't have as nice of tires. It's not quite as powerful, but it really is pretty similar in quality and looks.
And if you guys have any other questions, check out our full review at ebikepedia.com. Thanks to our Patreons for supporting the channel. Because of you guys, we can continue to bring you guys quality content, reviews that you guys can enjoy and trust, all right? Thanks for watching, and when you guys ride, remember to wear your safety.